Can you even see me?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it.
I can see you.
Hey guys, Brad here with Custom Offsets. Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. We got another episode of hot and new suspension for you, and this one's going to be a Fabtech kit here. This is the Fabtech Uni Ball 4-inch kit, which is, and this particular one's for 07 to 2017 GM trucks, 1500 series half-ton trucks. And this one's a little different. This is the whole kit laid out here, and you might be wondering, is that really everything for the kit? And yeah, it is. What Fabtech does differently than some of the other manufacturers is, if you watched any of our other videos, I talk about the new lift knuckles that some of the other kits include. And Fabtech, what they do is they don't give you knuckles in this particular kit. And what they do is they give these are Fabtech's Uni Ball control arms. They're super heavy duty, made of DOM tubing. They come with poly bushings up here that you insert. And how these work, rather than a conventional ball joint, as you probably are familiar with, these use what they call their Uni Ball System. I don't know if you can see that here. It's basically like a Heim joint. It's a spherical joint where it has these two, what's called misalignment bushings that you insert into the Uni Ball. And then what goes in that is then this stud here, which acts as your ball joint. As you can see, this has a taper on it, which would be your standard GM ball joint taper. So it fits in there like that, and then this will go into your knuckle like the ball joint would. What this allows is you to have more angle on your upper control arms, where a ball joint would bind up in those extreme angles. These Uni Balls allow you to handle those extreme angles without binding. So that's how they get away without using the lift knuckles or anything like that. So that's what covers your angles for your control arms and ball joint angles. It's replaced with those Uni Ball control arms. And then you still have your CV angles to worry about, so they include these right here, which are the differential drops to drop the diff down, so then you can maintain proper CV angles. And then the lift happens with just these front strut spacers. And this is about, I think this probably measures about 2 inches. I didn't actually measure it, but there's a ratio involved in the front suspension where it's, on this truck, it's probably about a 2-to-1 ratio. So a 2-inch spacer will yield about 4 inches of lift just because of how the suspension geometry is set up and everything like that. There's a really complex ratio that goes involved that I don't really know, but I know that's how it works. And so you actually achieve 4 inches of lift with just this 2-inch or so spacer. And then in the back, they just give you about, what is it? This is probably about a 1 inch or 1.5 inch block for the rear, because the rear, as you know, already sits higher. So when you bring the front up 4 inches, you don't even have to bring the rear up 4 inches, only about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. So that's what gets done in the rear to level the back out. And then Fabtech also includes these nice yellow zinc plated U-bolts with a nice fine thread on them. And this kit is the upgraded, he got the upgraded shocks on this. This is Fabtech's Stealth Series shock. You can see here, this is just an upgrade from Fabtech's standard hydraulic shock. These are nitrogen charged gas shocks. So I think it's usually about $50 to $70 more to upgrade to the Stealth shocks. Definitely recommend doing a shock upgrade, because shocks probably play the biggest factor in ride quality, along with suspension, having proper suspension geometry to prevent binding. But yeah, this is like I said, this is the 4-inch Fabtech Uni Ball kit. Pretty simple. There's not much to it because they eliminate a lot of the parts by using their Uni Ball upper control arms. You can see here, here's the whole kit. All right, so that's about it for this one. Be sure to check out our lifts and levels. We're going to be installing it on this truck here, and you can see the finished product and how the install goes and everything like that. All right, take it easy, guys and girls. We'll see you next time.